Hola a todos, soy Mariana Soto y esto es OrbiTV y hoy estamos en la semana del Queretaverso, así que tenemos un invitado especial, Hrish from SuperWorld. Hi Hrish, thank you very much for your time today. It's amazing to having met you and to having the opportunity to talk to you about your project.
Thank you. No, it's a pleasure to be here, and thanks for the opportunity to share our vision at SuperWorld.
So yesterday during your presentation, you were saying, and I was intrigued, right? Like SuperWorld being this metaverse, well, not metaverse, but in the metaverse or gateway into the metaverse. You say you want like to make the world a better place. Tell me more about that. How does it work with this gateway into the metaverse?
Yeah. So SuperWorld is a virtual world built on top of the real world. So it's all around us right now. We're in it right now. So we've empowered anyone to create, discover, and monetize content anywhere in the world. So if you remember that game Pokemon Go, where people are running around looking for digital Pokemons, what if instead of that, it could be anything you want it to be? You have the power to create a world around you of whatever you want. Music, fashion, history, education, sports, literally anything you want. If you have a business, you can build content for that business in real world locations. And then we've divided the surface of the earth into 64 billion properties.
Of real land, right?
Virtual real estate covering the real world in real world locations. City blocks of land, 100 meter by 100 meter. And if you buy those blocks, you get a share of all of the monetization that happens there. Advertising, e-commerce, digital commerce, data, analytics, gaming, decentralized finance. And so what we've done is we've enabled people to build livelihoods in SuperWorld. We call it live to earn. And the overriding mission of SuperWorld is how can we actually bring all of these technologies together to build a better world? How do we improve the real world? So as an example of that, when you buy virtual real estate in SuperWorld, we plant trees in the real world. We're already partnered with the World Bank in the Caribbean to raise money for hurricane disaster relief. We've partnered with the United Nations and UNESCO to help rebuild cities like Beirut, Lebanon.
So how does it work? How do I get involved? I mean, I created my account yesterday, so I've like, done a little bit of research, and I found like super cool NFTs and people who have bought like, I don't know, pretty like murals and just very, very random stuff that might be somehow like significant to some people. I was like, what is that? But maybe to that person it's important.
Right.
Which I found very interesting.
Yes.
But so if I want to get involved, let's say, I want to plant trees in a real project on the real world. How does that work?
Yeah. So, a lot of people have these questions like, what are NFTs? What is AR, VR? What is the blockchain? How does that, deal with my life, right? And the thing that they do know is, where do they live? Where do they go on vacation? Where are places in the world that are special to them? Where do they have a business? And so one easy way that people get involved in this is they come to SuperWorld and they find the places in the world that they love, and they go and buy one of those places, right? You can buy any place in the world. And now that you own a block of property in SuperWorld, this means now you have a Web3 wallet. It means that you probably have some crypto now in your wallet. And now you probably want to create some NFTs, maybe for something you're doing for work, some kind of sustainable project that you want to help promote. It could be artwork, it could be literally anything. So now you might want to create some AR, VR content and put it in that location, right? And so the idea is that the gateway concept is the idea that when you come to SuperWorld, you can, again, own part of the world and then start building in SuperWorld as well, because now you're part of the ecosystem, you're part of the platform. And then the next step is, what do you want to create? And if you have questions on how to create things or what you should do next, definitely contact us at SuperWorld. We always have a live chat, and we always work with customers to, what we call super citizens to help build the world together. The beauty of SuperWorld is decentralized. So we all own it together and we all build together.
And let's say, so you have your world I have my world.
Yes.
And you invite me to your world, and then I see my world and your world on your world. Like, how does that work?
So there's an infinite number of filters on the world. So I have a world, you have a world, brands have worlds. And so the idea is that, you know, anyone owns their world and their environment, but you can discover other worlds as well. And so you have full control over your world, and you have the opportunity to visualize and see content in other worlds, right? But there's an infinite filters on the real world. So all of this is happening around us in the real world. So as an example, you know, you could put something right there.
Yeah.
Okay. But I can put something in that same place. But in my world, you're going to see my content. In your filter of the world, it's going to be what you put there. So any spot in space is infinitely monetizable.
That's pretty crazy. It's amazing. Yeah. Super fun. Super fun as well. Yeah. Wow. Wow, that's really, really cool. And tell me something. Like you said, I mean, it lives on the Ethereum, right? Mm-hmm. On the ETH.
Yeah.
And how does that benefit SuperWorld? Like, is there anything about proof of work and proof of stake sort of, how do you say, like, did you choose to be on the Ethereum chain because of a specific reason, or why is it?
So we've been in this space for a very long time. So we started SuperWorld 5 years ago, right? Okay. And so we were one of the early companies in the NFT space. And back then, and even now, Ethereum is the largest decentralized app ecosystem. So if you're going to create a decentralized application, you're likely going to use Ethereum. Okay. Ethereum is moving from proof of work to proof of stake, probably sometime in the next several months.
Yeah.
And when that happens, you're going to avoid gas fees, which currently exist on Ethereum.
Yeah.
And so you're going to move to more of a gasless or a very low gas environment, which gas is a transaction fee that happens on Ethereum. But we're also integrated with Polygon at SuperWorld. Okay. We're blockchain interoperable. So we're open to literally every blockchain. And over time, we'll integrate with more and more blockchains. But we're very long-term oriented on this space. So we don't, make moves quickly, because we want to make sure that whatever decisions we make are decisions that we're making for the very long term.
Yeah.
And so we've been very, very discerning and deliberate about the decision making. And so when we did create on Ethereum, we did that on purpose. And again, it is still the biggest DApp ecosystem by far. And as they are improving their, mechanisms, proof of stake, proof of work, that will make it an even more efficient ecosystem to operate in.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Great. Super fun. I'm very pumped to get involved into SuperWorld. So these are the 3 last questions.
Sure.
And they're more personal than the project itself. So, I mean, it's clear to me the transformation that you're bringing to the world. But for you, what is it that you like the most of what you're doing?
I think the thing that drives me is, I live very globally, nomadically, live in different cities every year and travel quite a bit. And I've always loved that. And so the thing that really inspires me is I want to enable everyone to be able to have the power to know the world and to create around the world. You can create artwork right now and put it in the Zocalo in Mexico City.
Yeah.
You can put it in Times Square in New York right now and sell it.
I can sell it, yeah.
You can sell it, right? You can create anything anywhere. But you can also discover anything from anywhere. You can see content that people have placed in real world locations and see it immersively, right? You can walk into a temple in Egypt and see artwork that someone's created, right?
Yeah.
And so the opportunity to, again, empower people to, again, create around the world, discover the world, monetize the world, build livelihoods. And then, as I said, our vision and our mission is actually how do we use these technologies to improve the world, enhance humanity.
Yeah.
And I think we have that power. If we've built a virtual world that leverages AR, VR, blockchain, AI, that sits on top of the real world, that interacts with our physical environment, physical, virtual, virtual, physical, then the opportunity is to use this technology to bring change, positive change to the world. And that is what's super exciting, right? And what's also really beautiful is that we can work with people like yourself, right? We're very inspired about this. And there's people all over the world that we can bring together that also have that mission. And that's why you see who's involved in SuperWorld. We have some of the smartest people, some of the most amazing people in the world that when I tell them about this vision, they raise their hands to see how they can help and how they can get involved. So that inspires me a lot.
Very cool.
Thank you.
And what advice would you give to like other entrepreneurs that are just starting or they're getting curious about the Web3? What advice would you give them?
You know, the Web3 space is, I would say, very fast moving. There is a lot of complexity to it, which is a good thing, which means that you can never run out of things to learn. It is a space that very few people in the world, even now, are into. And so it's a huge opportunity to get into the Web3 space, learn about it. If you spend some time, read some books, watch some YouTube videos, take a course, right? And you can very quickly become a leader in the space. So anyone who I would say is interested in getting into the space, take that first step, right? Take the first step, try to learn, get in touch with us at SuperWorld. We're always happy to help educate and get people on their way there. But take the first step and then you take that second step. So it's always one step at a time, but jump in because it's still very, very early and this is a really good time to start learning.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, Hrish, thank you very much.
Thank you
very much for all of this super valuable information. And definitely, guys, sign up. Super fun. Y bueno, muchas gracias a todos. Esto fue OrbiTV y nos vemos en el siguiente capítulo.